Hi, sweet friend. Welcome back. What we are going to be diving into in this video is talking about your deepest, truest sense of self empowerment. What it is that full empowerment can look like. Because it's so easy in this beautiful world that we are living in to make things about everybody else and not about ourselves. In fact, oftentimes we're taught that thinking about ourselves or viewing things in reference to ourselves is selfish. We've been literally taught that. And there's a problem with that dynamic of being taught that checking in with yourself, with checking in with your dreams, with your possibilities, with your distinct desires for what you want to do with your life and how to live with your life. If that is taken away from us, if that process is no longer an option or is considered selfish, then we either block ourselves from that entirely or we feel shame around it. And there's no reason for that. You were put on this planet, or you decided to be on this planet for a reason and as yourself. So, checking in with your dreams and your possibilities and your desires is beautiful and natural. And what happens when we make our lives about other people is that we lose that deepest sense of empowerment and we end up reliant upon those other people for our sense of empowerment and happiness and every other feel good feeling that we're not getting from ourselves, from our deepest sense of identity. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love people. I love the humans that I have in my life that are in my corner that can help to support me. And and I also know that I can rely upon myself. I also know that all of my decisions that I make are self-sourced, that I am in charge of them. And the confidence in identity, that feeling of empowerment that comes from truly feeling and knowing that you can go it alone or be self sourced, where you are the one in charge, where it doesn't take anybody else in your whole wide world to make you happy because you know what makes yourself happy. That empowerment is invaluable. Because I want you to imagine for just a moment, and it's a sad imagining. I'm sorry, but also not sorry because it's necessary. Imagine for a moment that every single thing that right now that you are scared to lose, imagine that every single thing disappeared. And I'm waiting a beat for you to imagine that. Imagine all of those things, the humans that you love, everything that you're scared to lose, maybe prestige from your job, everything. If it were to disappear, who are you? And it's okay if you don't know the answer to that right now, or if that question scares you, because that's what we're here for. This self empowerment journey, this self coaching journey is to help you get there, to help you check in with who you are. Because if all those things were gone, where does your happiness come from? I'm here to tell you that it can absolutely come from within. It can absolutely be self sourced from within you. What makes me truly happy and empowered in my sense of identity is that if everything that I loved or was scared to lose disappeared, I know who I would still be. I would still be curious. I would still be creative. I would still be the person who desires to find happiness in all situations. And I know those things about myself. I've taken the time to discover them. I've taken the time to nurture them. And that's what we're here to do for you too, is to discover and to nurture from the point of view of finding that self-empowerment. Because sweet friend, when you know your identity, when you intimately know your sense of self, you become your own home. You are always able to come home to yourself when that happens for you. And there are so many songs or messages in popular media about how love songs specifically is what I'm thinking about, of like how I know I'm with you, or like you complete me, or all of those things that you could say to a lover or to a bestie or to everyone who adds joy to your life. If those people who added joy to your life are gone, where is it that's home for you? It's going to have to be your sense of self. It's going to have to be your sense of self. Because if it's not, then you're left with grief and with struggle and with heartache and with this path that is rocky and challenging and lonely. But when you are your home, when you know yourself, when you find joy and happiness in who you are and what you do and what you choose to dream and strive for, then you are truly self empowered. Then you've truly found self love. And that's what we're doing here, is creating that relationship with yourself so that you can feel home within yourself, so that you can feel empowered within yourself, so that when things go wrong, not the dramatic of everything disappearing in my example, because life's usually not that dramatic, but when little things go wrong, or perhaps big things like losing a job go wrong, your sense of self, your sense of accomplishment and pride and the possibilities that you see for yourself, that those don't disappear along with that outside thing, that you get to hold on to it because it's come from within you. And that's so exciting. And that is a part of getting to know your soul self. That's the reason why we're going to do everything within this methodology that we are going to do, is to help you really hone in on who you are, what you dream of, and everything that is possible for you. And all of that is going to bubble up from within. All of that is going to be found from your sense of self. And all of that is going to add to your self empowerment. And I'm so excited for you to experience it. So excited. Because it's one of the most important things that you could possibly learn on this beautiful journey here on Earth. So let's get started. Let's get into it. And I suppose I shouldn't have said let's get started, because I imagine you've been on this journey for a while now. I imagine that this may not be your first step into trying to figure it out. into trying to grasp true self love, self empowerment, or happiness for yourself. It's often a lifelong journey that's taken you decades to get to now. So, not let's get started, but let's get into it. Let's go further. Let's keep exploring. You and I together. Ready, set, go.